Have you ever wondered why some men over 60 naturally command attention the moment they enter a room? It's not their looks, money, or status. It's something far more powerful. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover could completely change how you see yourself and how others see you. Many men spend years believing that attraction begins and ends with appearance. They think women notice thick hair, a sharp jawline, a youthful body, or expensive clothes before anything else. By the time they reach 60, many quietly accept the idea that they have become invisible. They avoid eye contact, hesitate to start conversations, and convince themselves that their best years are behind them. But that belief is one of the biggest lies society has ever told mature men. The truth is that aging changes the rules. What mattered at 25 is not necessarily what matters at 60. Life has a way of shifting people's priorities. As years pass, character begins to outweigh charm, and substance becomes more valuable than style. Women who have lived through decades of life's victories and disappointments often recognize something that younger people overlook. They notice how a man carries himself long before they evaluate how he looks. A man over 60 who walks into a room with quiet confidence immediately creates a different impression. He doesn't need to be the loudest person there. He doesn't compete for attention. He doesn't try to prove that he's still young. Instead, he carries the calm certainty that only experience can create. That kind of presence cannot be purchased, and it cannot be faked. Many men make the mistake of fighting age instead of embracing it. They become obsessed with looking 20 years younger, believing that every wrinkle is a weakness and every gray hair is something to hide. But those very signs of age often tell a powerful story. They speak of challenges survived, responsibilities carried, families raised, lessons learned, and storms overcome. There is dignity in a face that reflects a lifetime of perseverance. What truly makes a man attractive after 60 is not perfection. It is authenticity. A man who accepts himself without apology radiates a confidence that naturally draws people closer. He doesn't seek constant approval because he already knows his worth. He understands that confidence is not about pretending to be flawless. It is about being comfortable with who you have become. Think about the people you naturally admire. Chances are it isn't because they look perfect. It's because they make others feel safe, respected, and understood. They listen more than they speak. They smile without forcing it. They remain calm under pressure. Their presence lowers anxiety instead of creating it. These qualities become even more valuable with age. The greatest mistake a man can make is believing that his value declines with every birthday. In reality, the opposite can be true. Every year gives you another opportunity to become wiser, kinder, more patient, and more emotionally grounded. These qualities cannot be developed overnight. They are earned through decades of living. So before worrying about your appearance, ask yourself a more important question. Do you carry yourself with quiet confidence? Do you treat others with genuine respect? Do you live with purpose instead of regret? Because when a woman notices a man over 60, the first thing she often sees isn't his face at all. She notices the energy he brings into the room, the calm strength, quiet confidence, and self-respect that reveal a man who has learned one of life's greatest lessons. True attractiveness begins from within, and no amount of time can take that away. There is something remarkable about a man who no longer feels the need to impress everyone around him. He doesn't chase attention, argue to prove he's right, or fill every silence with words. Instead, he has learned that real strength often speaks in whispers. This invisible quality is what many women notice almost immediately. It isn't something they see with their eyes first. It is something they feel. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are. Confidence after 60 is very different from confidence at 30. A younger man may try to demonstrate his value through achievements, possessions, or physical strength. But a mature man understands that confidence is built from experience. It comes from surviving difficult seasons, recovering from failures, overcoming heartbreak, raising a family, building a career, and continuing to move forward despite life's unexpected turns. Every challenge leaves behind wisdom, and that wisdom creates a peaceful presence that cannot be manufactured. Women often pay close attention to how a man makes them feel rather than how perfectly he fits society's standards of attractiveness. A man who remains calm during stressful moments creates a sense of security. A man who listens carefully without interrupting shows respect. A man who treats everyone, from strangers to family members, with kindness reveals the true depth of his character. These qualities are impossible to hide because they naturally appear in everyday interactions. Many men underestimate the power of emotional stability. In a world where people constantly seek validation and react to every inconvenience with frustration, a man who remains patient stands apart. He doesn't allow small problems to steal his peace. He understands that not every disagreement requires an argument, and not every opinion deserves a response. That level of self-control reflects maturity, and maturity is deeply attractive. Body language also tells a powerful story. A relaxed posture, steady eye contact, a genuine smile, and unhurried movements communicate confidence without saying a single word. These simple actions tell others that this man is comfortable in his own skin. He is not pretending to be someone else. Authenticity creates trust, and trust is the foundation of every meaningful relationship. Purpose is another quality that quietly shines through. A man who wakes up each morning with goals, hobbies, passions, or a desire to contribute to others has a different energy. His life is not centered on seeking approval. Instead, he is focused on growth, learning, and making each day meaningful. That sense of direction is inspiring because it shows that life after 60 is not about slowing down. It is about living with greater intention. Perhaps the most attractive quality of all is self-respect. A man who respects himself naturally respects others. He sets healthy boundaries without becoming harsh. He is generous without allowing himself to be taken for granted. He is humble without thinking less of himself. This balance creates an inner strength that people instinctively recognize. The reality is that appearance may catch someone's attention for a moment, but character keeps it. Hair may turn gray, faces may change, and bodies may age, but the qualities of wisdom, compassion, resilience, and quiet confidence only become stronger with time. These are the traits that leave lasting impressions. Long after a conversation ends, people rarely remember the exact color of your eyes or the style of your jacket. They remember how you made them feel. And when a man carries himself with calm confidence, genuine kindness, and unwavering self-respect, he possesses something that no mirror can measure and no passing year can ever diminish. Knowing what women notice is only the beginning. The real transformation happens when a man builds daily habits that naturally reflect confidence, purpose, and self-respect. Attraction after 60 is rarely about a single grand gesture. It is the result of small choices repeated consistently over time. These habits shape not only how others see you, but also how you see yourself. And when a man feels good about the life he is living, that confidence becomes impossible to ignore. Start with your health, not because you're trying to look younger, but because you're honoring the body that has carried you through decades of life. A daily walk, light strength training, stretching, or simply staying active sends a powerful message. It says, I value myself. You don't have to become an athlete. You simply need to show that you've chosen growth over decline. Energy is attractive at every age, and nothing creates energy like taking care of your body. Another habit that quietly sets exceptional men apart is lifelong curiosity. Some people stop learning as they grow older, believing they've seen it all, but the most inspiring men never lose their desire to discover something new. They read books, learn new skills, explore unfamiliar places, and ask thoughtful questions. Curiosity keeps the mind alive and conversations interesting. A man who continues to grow never becomes boring because he always has something meaningful to share. Communication is another area where mature men can become truly unforgettable. Speaking slowly, choosing words carefully, and listening with genuine attention demonstrate confidence. There is no need to dominate every conversation. In fact, people are naturally drawn to someone who makes them feel heard. When you listen without interrupting and respond with empathy instead of judgment, you create a connection that appearance alone could never achieve. The way you present yourself also matters, not because you need expensive clothing, but because attention to detail reflects self-respect. Clean, well-fitted clothes, polished shoes, good posture, and proper grooming communicate that you still care about yourself. It isn't about chasing fashion trends or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about showing the world that you believe your life is still worth investing in. Kindness is another habit that never loses its value. True kindness isn't weakness. It is strength expressed through patience, generosity, and compassion. Holding the door for someone, offering encouragement, thanking others sincerely, or treating every person with dignity creates a lasting impression. People may forget your accomplishments, but they rarely forget how you treated them during ordinary moments. Equally important is learning to let go of the need for constant approval. Many men spend years trying to please everyone, fearing rejection or criticism. But confidence grows when you accept that not everyone will understand or appreciate you, and that's perfectly fine. A man who lives according to his values instead of chasing validation radiates a quiet strength that others immediately recognize. Perhaps the most powerful habit of all is living with purpose. Whether it's mentoring younger generations, volunteering in your community, pursuing a passion, strengthening family relationships, or simply becoming the best version of yourself each day, purpose gives life direction. It gives you a reason to wake up with enthusiasm instead of routine. A purposeful man carries an energy that inspires everyone around him because he proves that life after 60 is not about counting the years. It's about making every year count. Remember, the habits you practice every day become the person you present to the world. Confidence is built one decision at a time. Wisdom is earned through consistent growth. Character is revealed in ordinary moments. And when these habits become part of who you are, you no longer need to convince anyone of your value. It becomes visible in the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you care, and the way you continue moving forward with quiet determination. That is the kind of man people remember, admire, and genuinely respect. As life moves beyond 60, something extraordinary begins to happen. The race to impress others slowly loses its importance, and the opportunity to leave a lasting legacy takes its place. This is where many men discover a truth they wish they had learned decades earlier. The most attractive man in the room is rarely the youngest, the richest, or the strongest. He is the one whose presence leaves people feeling inspired, respected, and understood. That kind of impact cannot be bought, and it certainly cannot be measured by appearance alone. Think about the people who have changed your life the most. Chances are you don't remember them because they had perfect hair or wore expensive clothes. You remember them because they believed in you when others didn't. They listened without judging. They offered wisdom instead of criticism. They remained calm when everyone else was overwhelmed. Their strength wasn't loud, but it was unforgettable. This is the kind of man every person has the opportunity to become, regardless of age. Too many men spend their later years looking backward instead of forward. They replay missed opportunities, old mistakes, broken relationships, or dreams that never came true. Regret becomes a heavy weight they carry every single day. But here's the beautiful reality: your future is not determined by your past. Every sunrise gives you another chance to become a better version of yourself. You cannot rewrite yesterday, but you can absolutely change the story of tomorrow. Women notice this mindset more than many men realize. A man who speaks with hope instead of bitterness stands out immediately. A man who smiles because he is grateful for what he has instead of complaining about what he has lost carries a different kind of energy. Gratitude is magnetic. It changes the way you speak, the way you walk, and even the way you face life's challenges. People naturally enjoy being around someone who brings peace rather than negativity. Resilience is another quality that becomes even more powerful with age. Life has probably tested you in ways few people understand. You may have experienced loss, disappointment, financial struggles, health concerns, or moments when you questioned everything. Yet every obstacle you survived added another layer to your character. The scars you carry are not signs of weakness. They are proof that you kept moving forward. A man who rises after every setback quietly inspires everyone around him because he reminds them that hope is always stronger than despair. Never underestimate the influence of your example. Younger generations are watching, even when they don't say it. Your children, grandchildren, neighbors, and friends notice how you respond to challenges. They notice whether you choose kindness over anger, patience over frustration, courage over fear. Your actions teach lessons that words alone never could. One conversation, one encouraging smile, or one act of generosity can leave an impact that lasts for years. Most importantly, remember that confidence is not about believing you are better than someone else. It is about knowing that your worth does not disappear with age. Your value is found in your integrity, your compassion, your wisdom, and your willingness to keep growing. Every wrinkle tells a story. Every gray hair represents experience. Every challenge you overcame has shaped the man you are today. Those are not flaws to hide, they are badges of honor earned through a lifetime of perseverance. So stop measuring yourself by the mirror alone. Measure yourself by the peace you bring into a room, the kindness you show to strangers, the love you give your family, and the courage you display when life becomes difficult. These are the qualities people remember long after they forget physical appearance. The first thing women notice about men over 60 isn't perfect looks. It's the quiet confidence that comes from living with purpose, the calm strength that refuses to be shaken by life's storms, and the genuine character that makes others feel valued. That is a kind of attractiveness that never fades. In fact, it grows stronger with every passing year. Your greatest chapter has never been about looking younger. It has always been about becoming wiser, kinder, stronger, and more authentic. So stand tall, walk with confidence, continue learning, continue giving, continue believing that your best qualities are still unfolding. Because the man who lives with purpose, treats others with respect, and embraces every new day with gratitude will always leave a mark on the hearts of those he meets. And in the end, that is the kind of legacy that time can never erase.